So I have a close friend who's Nigerian. He had gotten married a few years ago to this woman from Togo. Lovely, lovely lady. Um, about 2 years ago, maybe a year or two ago now, they had a birthday party for their first son. And they had invited us to this birthday party, me and my wife, my family. And it was really important for me to go because as this woman is Catholic, she'd actually asked me to be that son's godfather, right? For people who don't know what a godfather, godmother is in the terms of Catholicism, it's the person that's supposed to help, guide this child in the ways of the Lord and teach all these things and just provide that guidance, right? So it was really important to me to be there and, you know, the kid was only one, so I couldn't be, oh, Jesus this, Jesus that, but just be there as a presence. So when we got there, it was great. It was an awesome event. And I'm standing by the area where they're kind of serving food and whatnot. And a couple of aunties come up to me, and I start talking with these aunties. And one of them says to me, it's good that you did it to Alsha, that you married a Nigerian woman. I I looked at her, I was like, huh? I was like, as much as this woman over here that I'm married to looks like a, what is it that's Uncle likes to say, shike? Looks like a shike to you. Nah, she's 100% Jamaican, man. 100% Jamaican, right? And I explained that to her, was laughed it off, and went about the rest of the days if nothing happened. Later, I would come to learn that behind me, maybe 5, 6 feet, was my friend's wife, who was from Togo. And she heard her say that. To this day, they don't have a good relationship. This past Thursday, I was literally talking with my friend's father, trying to explain to him what happened because he's still trying to resolve it between his daughter-in-law and his sister to this day. This, I've spoken to my friend's wife saying, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But she always says, how will I know if she actually loves me? She can say it. She can say, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. But it means nothing to me because I know what she truly feels. Can someone open up to the book of John 21, verse 16? The thing that's funny about this lesson today, that Joshua chapter 23 from verse 1 to 16. 1 second, please. That Joshua 23 from 1 to 16. Actually, the last sermon I gave, that was the exact same first lesson. And for that lesson, it was all about belief, right? I played that video from Uncle Junior saying that he failed, but he still believed, and God brought him to here where he is today. And it was all about belief, about faith, about if you truly believe in the promises of God, that you will walk in your life as if these things are already guaranteed. Because God's words never fail. But once you believe, what is left? John, please. John 21 from verse 16.
He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?
Stop right there. That's it. Simon, son of Jonah, lovest thou me? Voice of grace, do you love God? Voice of grace, do you love your neighbor? Voice of grace, do you even know what love is? My friend's aunt said, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. My friend's wife does not believe it. What is that word even worth? 1 Corinthians chapter 13, we all know it well. Please open it. We all know it well. It's the chapter that we all go to when we talk about love. This is what love describes. This is what love is. But I love the way that King James puts it, because when you go to the NIV, that's where they start to use the word love. In King James, what is the word that is used there? Do people remember? Charity. Please, if someone has it open.
Though I speak with the tongues of men,
yes,
and of angels,
yes,
and have not charity,
yes,
I am become a sounding brass,
yes,
or a tingling cymbal.
yes.
And though I have the gift of prophecy,
Yes.
and understand all mysteries,
Yes.
and all knowledge,
Yes.
and though I have all faith,
Yes.
so that I could remove mountains,
Yes.
and have not charity,
Yes.
I am nothing.
Yes.
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor,
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. So what does this sound like, bestowing your goods to feed the poor? It sounds like charity, right? But then what does he say?
and though I give my body to be burned, and
Though I
have
sacrifice my body to be burned. Continue.
and have not charity,
Yes.
it profiteth me nothing.
So how can you give all your things to the poor, give your body to be burned, and not be charitable? Does that even make sense? When we see people giving to the poor, doing all these things, what do we call it? Charity. But here it's saying, though you do those things, how are you still not charitable? You can say, Lord, I prophesied in your name. I gave to the poor. I moved mountains. I gave my body to be burned. You can sit down, please. But it could all mean absolutely nothing, because as Christ said in Matthew 7, some will come to me saying, Lord, Lord. And he'll say to them, I never knew you. Away from me, evildoers. What is charity? If any of you remember, Uncle Dami had given a sermon on this. Charity, and the Greek word for that 1 Corinthians 13 is agape, right? And we know what agape love is. But I looked it up, again, just so we're all clear and speaking the same language. It says it is a pure, selfless, and unconditional love that is a choice and a sacrifice, seeking the highest good of another without expectation of return. The Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. But I tell you now that love without sacrifice is meaningless. You can't be charitable if you're not sacrificing anything. For you to truly show that you love someone, there has to be a sacrifice involved. If you're the wealthiest person in the world and give, is that truly a sacrifice to you? Why was it so special that that woman who brought the last few coins that she had was greater than the ones that brought more? Because she actually had to sacrifice. There is not a character in this Bible, a person in this Bible of note that did not have to sacrifice something. You look at Cain and Abel, right? What made Cain's offering bad and Abel's offering good? Because Abel sacrificed the good of what he had, the first of what he had. What made Abraham the father of nations? Because he sacrificed by leaving his home and his family behind. He was ready to sacrifice his one and only son. Can you imagine? I did this with the Sunday school kids, that when you read the story of Abraham, when God told Abraham, go sacrifice your son, he left with his son. All right? Didn't tell his wife anything. So his wife is expecting, they're going away for 3 days to do this sacrifice. They'll come back. Didn't say anything to his wife. Got to the bottom, that whole 3 days and nights, he's in the trailer, in the horse carriage with his son, just talking to him. Oh, son, I love you so much. Thinking in the back of his head, wow, I'm really about to sacrifice the son at the end of this. Gets to the bottom of the mountain, and his son is looking around like, we've been traveling and I still don't see a lamb or anything that we're going to sacrifice. And he says to him, Daddy, where's the lamb? God will provide. He had faith, but he didn't know. Who was it that God told him, I'm going to take your wife away from you and you cannot shed a tear? Did God change his mind on that? There is no love without sacrifice. I can promise you, some of you in church today, if you go and ask Auntie J after service to have some meat from her plate, and she gives it to you, it's not a big deal because Auntie J doesn't like to eat meat, right? If you go and ask Uncle Tosin to, stop watching hockey to come and hang out with you, of course. But if his wife comes to him during the Super Bowl when the Eagles are playing and says, you can't watch the Eagles anymore, we have to enjoy a date night together. You can't look at it on your phone, you can't see it. If he were to do that, his wife will know he loves me. See? But that's why it's so funny to us. Because the things that are so near and dear to us, as flippant as they may seem, That's what God wants from us. It's easy to be charitable with the things you don't care about. But how do you give up on the things that you want the most for the sake of another person? How do you give up on the things that you want the most for the sake of God? Please go to the book of Ruth, chapter 1. I love the story of Ruth. I love the story of Ruth because it ties so well into what it means to sacrifice. Ruth came from a different tribe, the tribe of the Moabites. These were people that liked to serve other gods, multiple gods. They were actually descended from Lot. But they were not the Israelites. Completely separate culture, separate everything. But Ruth had married one of the children of Naomi. Oh, our beautiful baby girl back there. One of the children of Naomi. And that child died. The son, her husband, died. And Naomi's other son died. So now Naomi's sitting there with two daughter-in-laws, who are not from the Israelite culture. Naomi has to go home, and she's telling them, go back. Please, Ruth chapter 1 from verse 11.
And Naomi said,
Yes.
Turn again, my daughters.
Yes.
Why will ye go with me?
Go home, my daughters. Why are you going to come back to Israel with me? It's not your home. It's not what you know. Go back to your families. Continue.
Are there yet any more sons in my womb,
Yes.
that they may be your husbands?
Yes.
Turn again, my daughters, go your way,
Yes.
for I am too old to have an husband.
So in the culture back then, when your husband died, right, the thing that would happen for you as a wife is that you would marry one of that mother's other sons, right? But when they had no sons left, what are you supposed to do? Continue, please.
If I should say,
Yes.
I have hope,
Yes.
if I should say I have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands?
Yes.
Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. And they lifted up their voice and wept again. And Hopah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her.
Stop there real quick. Naomi's trying her best to get rid of them. For not even because she wants to, but for their sakes. Because she feels miserable for them. She knows what it's like to lose a husband. And yet they are still so young. They can go on and have children. So she's telling them, go, find someone else. You're still young. You can have children. You can have these things. You can have a better life. Just go and leave me in my sorrows. Continue, please.
And she said,
Yes.
Behold,
Yes.
thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people
Yes.
and unto her gods.
Yes.
Return thou after thy sister-in-law.
Yes.
And Ruth said,
What does she say?
Entreat me not to leave thee,
Yes.
or to return from following after thee.
Yes.
For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge.
Yes.
Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God.
Yes.
Where thou diest will I die, and there will I be buried.
Whew.
The Lord do so to me, and more also, if I ought but death, part thee from me.
Verse 18, the last verse, please.
And when she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, then she left speaking unto her.
Thank you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Where you die, I will die. Where you are buried, I'll be buried. And if anything keeps me from doing that, God curse me for it. Do you realize how powerful that is? And she went not looking for another husband, not looking for any of these things, but because she loved her mother-in-law. She loved her mother-in-law. She sacrificed home, family. Her sister-in-law said, peace out, I have to go. And I don't think God cursed her or anything for that. It's okay. But the love to sacrifice everything that you could have for the unknown. And when you look at Ruth, she didn't do it for herself. She did it because she loved her mother-in-law, and she didn't want her mother-in-law to be sad, to be sorrowful. That's why Naomi at the end, she was like, what can I do? I give up. Just come with me. Thank you. Thank you. Just come with me. And this is what sacrifice is. And look how it turns out. Go to Ruth 4 now, from verse 13 to 18. We all know the end of the story. But yes. So Boaz took Ruth and she was his wife. Continue, please.
And when he went in unto her,
Yes.
the Lord gave her conception.
Yes.
And she bare a son.
Yes.
And the women said unto Naomi,
Yes.
Blessed be the Lord, which had not left thee this day without a kinsman,
Yes.
that his name may be famous in Israel.
Yes.
And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life,
Whew. Yes.
and a nourisher of thine old age.
Oh, yes. Read this next one slowly, please.
For thy daughter-in-law,
For thy daughter-in-law, not your daughter-in-law. Continue.
which loveth thee,
Yes.
which is better to thee than 7 sons,
Better to thee than 7 sons.
had borne him. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom, and
Yes.
became nurse unto it.
Yes.
And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi, and they called his name Obed.
Yes.
He is the father of Jesse, the father of David.
Thank you. Someone please open the book of 2 Samuel 24, and I'll tell you when it's time. When you look at the story of Ruth here, it's beautiful because that's sacrificial love. When you sacrifice, God will sacrifice for you. When you sacrifice in love, God will make sure that it works out for you. And the thing is that when you sacrifice, it's not just about sacrificing the things that you can hold that are meaningful to you. Sometimes you have to sacrifice who you believe yourself to be. We'll get to this later in the sermon. But in Joshua, one of the things it says is that, in that Joshua 23, that you should not marry the people from this culture and that culture and that. And people kind of hold on to that. Don't marry this culture, don't marry that. But at the end, God says of that in that Joshua 23, do not serve their other gods. It's all about God. It has nothing to do with your culture. The only culture you should ever have is God. And when you look at this story, there are 3 women in the history of Jesus, in the lineage of Jesus, that were not Israelites. Tamar, Ruth, and Rahab, right? Rahab, the one that hid the Israelites when they went to go look at the land, was the mother of who? Boaz. Boaz that now married who? Ruth. Who then led to David. This is a love. Love was from the beginning to Christ himself. And there was a sacrificial love. Please read that 2 Samuel chapter 24. So what we're going to get to now is the story of David. There was a point where God was incensed against Israel. And God had said to David, go out and take a census of the people, right? He was praying to do something. But David was sitting there like, I don't know how many soldiers we have here, just to know that we're safe. And God got upset with him. He said, do you not believe in me? Why are you out measuring the number of soldiers and army men that you have? So God cursed the people. And David wanted to come now and offer a sacrifice back to God. From verse 24, please. From verse 22, rather.
Araunah
Yeah.
said unto David,
Yes.
Let my lord the king take and offer up what seemeth good unto him.
So when David was looking for an offering, to get an offering, he went to go get this offering from this herdsman. His name was Araunah. And this is the conversation between them. Continue, please.
Behold,
Yes.
here be oxen for burnt sacrifice,
Yes.
and threshing instruments,
Yes.
and other instruments of the oxen for wood.
Yes.
All these things did Araunah, and a king give unto the king. And Araunah said unto the king, The Lord thy God accept thee.
So Araunah was saying, these things, king, let me just give them to you. Take these things to offer them. Just give it to you. Don't worry about paying me anything like that. And what did David say?
And the king said unto Araunah, Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price, neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which doth cost me nothing.
Thank you. The NIV says, no, I insist on paying you for it. I will not sacrifice to the Lord my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing. It's such a minuscule story, minuscule points in the story of David. But that line alone, I will not offer something to God that costs me nothing. That is what a true sacrifice is. That is what true love is. David could have easily taken it as king and offered, but he said no. A love that costs you nothing is not love, it is just words. In the story of my friend's wife and the aunt, please, someone open the book of Matthew chapter 5. In the story of my friend's wife and aunt, do I believe the aunt was in the wrong for saying the thing that she did, that it was good that you married a Nigerian woman and not like how my nephew did? Oh yeah, the aunt was in the wrong for sure. But is the grudge that my friend's wife has held for the past 2 years put her in the right? Sometimes the hardest thing for us to sacrifice is our own pride. At the end of the day, a sacrifice must be made. When there are two people involved, someone must sacrifice. Even greater if both are willing to sacrifice. That is the strength of any friendship. That is the foundation of every marriage. If two people aren't willing to sacrifice for each other, what's left? Read Matthew chapter 5 from verse 43, please.
Ye have heard
Yes.
that it had been said,
Yes.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor
Yes.
and hate thine enemy.
Yes.
But I say unto you,
Yes.
love your enemies.
Yes.
Bless them that curse you.
Yes.
Do good to them that hate you.
Yes.
And pray for them which
Yes.
despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven.
Thank you. There are people in this world that you'll meet that won't make you happy for whatever reason. We've all been raised a certain way in our families, but also raised a certain way by our communities, the world that we live in. We all have beliefs, prejudices, things that have been built within us. And for whatever reason, that has caused us to make enemies of people. And you say, I have no enemies. But when someone says to you something and you say, Emi, olumide Ọlọ́run inshallah. Emi, lai. Emi. What does Emi have to do with anything? Exactly. Thank you. Only God is I am. For all of our non-Yoruba speaking people, let me give you a Yoruba lesson. Emi means me. Okay, there we go. Right? So this is what I want you to understand. Please, someone open Romans chapter 12. For us to show sacrificial love, we have to show it to everyone, even our enemies, even those who we say are enemies to, even those that we think we hate, because we can't hate anyone. What have you done in your life for someone to hate you? Everything you have is given by God. Please. So what is love? How do you get to this point where you can truly love someone even when you, quote unquote, don't like them? Please, Romans 12 from verse 1.
I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world,
Yes.
but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind,
Yes.
that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Thank you. You have to present your bodies as a living what? A living sacrifice. When you present yourself as a willing sacrifice, that means that you empty yourself. You empty yourself of everything that you are. Because when you sacrifice something, what are you doing? You're giving it up. You're giving it up. If Big T never watches an Eagles game again for the sake of his wife and his love, he's given the Eagles game up. I know I'm picking on you. It's okay. Everyone here knows how much you love the Eagles. That's why. And I know there's a game today. Stop looking at your watch. So, no. So you give it all up, right? You present yourself as a living sacrifice by making yourself the manifestation of the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Not the good and acceptable and perfect will of Michael. Not the good and acceptable will of Auntie EJ. Not the good and acceptable will of Deji. The good and acceptable will of God. And you do that in every situation of your life. Today's first lesson, taken from the book of Joshua 23, 1-16, as I said it before, was God telling the Israelites all the good things that he has done to drive the people, to drive all the enemies out of the nation, and how to keep in the good graces of God, to say that if you love your God and follow his commandments, all these good things will continue to happen. But if you go to the book of Judges chapter 2 from verse 7 and then 10-12, Judges chapter 2, we see what happens afterwards. Yes?
That outlived Joshua,
Yes.
who had seen all the great works of the Lord.
So the people that Joshua was speaking to, they continued on. They continued to worship. They continued to serve. They loved God. They did all the things. Continue, please.
That he did for Israel.
Yes.
And Joshua, the son of Nun,
Yes.
the servant of the Lord, died,
Yes.
being 110 years old.
Verse 10, please.
And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers.
Yes.
And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord,
Yes.
nor yet the works which he had done for Israel.
Yes.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord,
Yes.
and served Baalim.
Yes.
And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers,
Yes.
which brought them out of the land of Egypt,
Yes.
and followed other gods,
Yes.
of the gods of the people that were round about them,
Yep.
and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger.
Thank you. Can you please open the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6? So the generation that Joshua was speaking to, they did all the things. They loved God. They did, and they were great. The next generation, their children, they went astray. They went astray. They left. They did this. They went right, served the other gods, fell to the culture, all of these things, right? But this wasn't the first time that these Israelites had been told exactly how to avoid this. Deuteronomy chapter 6 from verse 4, please.
Hear, O Lord, O
Yes.
Israel,
Yes.
the Lord our God is one Lord.
Yes.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God
Yes.
with all thine heart,
Yes.
and with all thy soul,
Yes.
and with all thy might.
Yes.
And these words which I command thee this day
Yes.
shall be in thine heart.
Yes.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children,
Yes.
and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates.
Thank you. The generation of Joshua failed. They failed. We fail. Some of us are ready to sacrifice all that we are, and we're focused on our own salvation, right? And it's good. We should be focused on our own salvation. The moment you become a parent, though, you can't just focus on your salvation anymore. You have to focus on the salvation of your children. The last sermon I gave, I said I was going to get into some of the children things, but I didn't have time, and Auntie Tammy made a noise. Auntie Tammy, this one is for you. The Bible gives us all the knowledge that we need. There's so many things that we're doing now in church to say, why are our youth leaving the church? Why are our youth leaving the church? Why aren't we doing this to get our children? Please come. You have to talk to my child to get them into church, this and that. All these things, X, Y, and Z. I am telling you that if you are saying this, you are failing. You are failing. Today we complain about our children not wanting to come to church. We ask for help in getting them to come and be in church. But coming to church isn't what is going to get them to love God. Loving God is what will get them to come to church. But how do you love a God that you do not know? In Sunday school, we're always telling our kids, you have to read the Bible, you have to do this, you have to do that. Kids are kids. You all remember how you were when you were that age. So whose job is it then? Whose job is it then to sit down with them and impress it upon their children, to write it upon their lampposts, to talk with them every night, to preach the word of God to them in their homes? If your children are not following God, don't look to other people. Don't look to the church as the church failing. Look in the mirror. I love Auntie Vicky and Uncle Jide. I don't know how they do it, how it works and that. Every time I'll say something in Sunday school and bring it up, Demi tries to act cool now. He'll know this verse, he'll know that verse, he'll know this. I was like, how do you know that? We read the Bible every night before we go to sleep. My mother makes us read the Bible. We'll sit down at the table and we'll read the Bible together. And we'll go through this chapter and then that chapter and this chapter and then that chapter. Blah, blah, blah. Does Demi want to be doing that? Would Demi rather be doing something else? Maybe. But the beauty of it is that when Demi and Daria get older, when life hits them, where will they go back to? Thank you. The sacrifice that you have to make when you love your children is every sacrifice you make. It's not about just education. My child needs to be a doctor or a lawyer. I need to make sure that they get into school. Who cares? Can you take your law degree to heaven with you? Can you take your medical degree to heaven with you? Can you take all the money and the titles to heaven with you? What is the first job that you should focus on with your children at all times? Their salvation. If you truly love your children, the sacrifice you'll make isn't the sacrifice that the world wants you to make. It is a sacrifice that God wants you to make. And if you feel, what do I know about the Bible to sit down and read with them? Guess what? Then sit down and learn with them. Sit down and learn with them. You have the internet. You have ChatGPT. You have a phone to call people. You have all the things you need. Love, true, undefiled love, is sacrificial. Whether it is towards God, whether it is towards your children, whether it is towards your neighbor. And I'll leave you with this. Please go to the book of John 3:16. Oh, actually, go ahead. Say it out loud. We honor it. He gave his only... Yep. Yes. 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 Thank you. And then it continues on to say, for God sent not his Son into the world to condemn it, but that through him they might be saved. It's so funny how deep the sacrifice of God gets. And this is what I want you to understand before I leave, is how much God loves you. Whenever we think about this verse, we always think like, yeah, God gave his only begotten Son. Yeah, God gave Jesus to die for our sins. But that wasn't the sacrifice. The death was the thing that reconciled us, that took care of the sin that we had. The sacrifice was letting Christ even live in this world. Because his death made salvation possible for us, but his life gave us the path to salvation. Every word that we read here, every word that we preach here came from his life. Everything that we preach and talk about here came from the life of Christ. The death and sacrifice that God made was the separation that he had with his Son. Romans 5 from verse 8 says, but God proved his love towards us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. For if when we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of his Son, much more being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. Can any of you imagine, who are parents, sending your children to Nigeria, to Afghanistan, to any of these places, because you believe there'll be a good influence on those people? Because you think that they'll be able to help and save those people? Son, I love you, son, but you'll do a really great job in Iraq. Let me send you to Iraq because those people need you. What parent here, I'm serious, what parent here can do that? And that is the love that God has for you. What sacrifice have you made for God? May the Lord bless his holy words.